Shane Walsh, congratulations through to an All-Ireland final. You're back again. You're here obviously with Galway. Now you're here with Kilmacud Crokes. How would you sum up the game?
Yeah, it was a tough game. I suppose we probably didn't close out the game probably as well as what we would have liked, but at the same time we got the job done, and semi-finals are for winning as well. So yeah, just delighted, I suppose, just to get there. Like, 'cause there's always a lot of talk. The external noise outside is obviously building Kilmacud towards getting back to an All-Ireland final again. So, you know, for our perspective, it was just about taking each game at a time, and now we can actually look forward now to an All-Ireland club final.
It's funny, I spoke to Robbie, your manager there, and it is taking each game as a time is always what we hear, but he said that he had a screensaver of Kilcoo lifting the cup on his phone since last year, that it's been in the back of his mind the whole time, that he wants to be back here, you know, and he finally is. Have you, I suppose, heard much of that in training? Obviously you weren't there with them last year when they played Kilcoo, but has that been a thing?
I don't know that I trust everything you see in Robbie's phone now, but that's another day's work. Look, I don't think so. Like a lot of lads, obviously, like who have been eliminated out of the equation now. Do you know, the Glen have taken over there as Ulster champions. So like, it's kind of, that conversation was 12 months ago, Joe, and like a lot of it now is just getting there, and now we have a chance to get over the line now. Like that's the big thing. The next year, like when you get to the final, there's no point getting to another All-Ireland final and losing again. So like, that's straight away a huge motivation to the group to go and get the job done this time. So I don't think it's anything huge. I think if the opposition was the same, you'd be kind of wondering, but like, I think the fact that you have two new teams coming, Cullen and the Glen, and they're trying to put their stamp on the game as well. So look, it's a great place to be in, the fact that we're in a position to be looking forward to it.
And obviously for you, you made the probably tough decision to make that transfer. And obviously at the back of your head, it was maybe to get to All-Ireland finals here in Croke Park. I'm sure that was probably a driving factor in it all. And here you are, you're here in that moment.
To be honest, the driving factor was just to be playing football, I suppose. Like, you look at, I suppose, obviously I started the whole commuting up and down from Dublin and the toll it takes on the body. So like, you're just trying to be playing football for as long as I can. Like, that's what I love doing. And look, I'm part of a very ambitious group here that are really pushing things on, and like the standards inside the club even itself is huge. Like, and I always speak of it, like the way they treat people that come into the club, be it for a week, for a month, for a year, for whatever, like they always look after people, and like that's a huge sign of a great club that's ran very well as well. So like, all that kind of connects together, and you know, it's been a very enjoyable experience for me so far. Like, as in, like the lads at training, everyone welcomed me on board, and obviously I had to buy into what the lads were doing. It's not them buying into me, it's me buying into that, and that's the way I want to be, because like, at the end of the day, I want to play football, but I want to get on, Joe, meet new friends, make Joe, as in you're making new teammates as well. And look, it's been great, and please God we can put the icing on the cake the next day.
Absolutely. And I think something as well, you know, you probably would have came in here meeting new lads. I know we spoke to Andrew McGowan during the week, and he said that, you know, slotted in straight away to the team. And I'm sure that wasn't probably an easy thing to do, but I'm sure they helped you along in that sense too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, like, Joe, I obviously met Robbie first, and I'd been chatting to Paul. I'd known Paul over the years. They might have got a better spin at inter-county level, but Joe, I was chatting to the lads, and like, then obviously met Shane, old captain, and a few of the lads, and just like that those little things like help. And Joe, obviously, as I said, like, you're buying into what the lads are doing, and I suppose they could see straight away in me that I was mad about football, and they could see, I could see it in them that they were. So like, lo and behold, it was going to be a good connection as well. And Joe, the first training session, I remember my legs were dead. I was kind of back in the gym and kind of trying to get going with the lads, and I'd say they were saying, wondering what it was going to be like seeing that first training. But I suppose I'm kind of an outgoing person, so I kind of like to go meet people, have a chat with them, and, you know, just make a connection. And thankfully it's gone very well to date, and please God it'll stay the same in the future.
And just to speak about today then as well, Kerrins O'Reilly, a brilliant team. I think coming into this game, probably you and a lot of the players would have known the threats that they had. You know, you were hot favourites coming in, but you look at the likes of David Moran, Tommy Walsh, you knew it was a game that would go right to the wire, and it was the last kick of the game. Yeah,
no, exactly. I think that was probably disrespect to them, like the fact that they were Munster champions coming in, and like, especially look at Kerry having won the All-Ireland this year as well. Joe, no surprise the Kerry team comes out of Munster, like, so, and like the experience they have all over the pitch, like between Joe, David Moran, Tommy Walsh, Jack Savage, Barry John Keane, these lads, Gavin O'Brien. Joe, you have five straight away there that lads everyone would recognise, like, you know, so not every team has that either. So like, we knew what we were preparing for. We had the homework done the same as what we do for every game, you know, and I think that's a credit to the management on our side, but also a credit to the team that we were playing against, that the fact that they have that experience as drawn. And look, we knew it was going to be a huge battle today, but again, we knew we had it in the locker, I suppose, to get over the line, and thankfully we did.
And David Moran, he was winning a lot of ball in midfield, and you changed things up a little bit in that second half. he was still winning ball, but probably not as much as he did in that first half.
Yeah, I suppose. Look, I suppose it's your. I suppose if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, it's a sign of insanity. So I think the fact that Robbie and the lads made a bit of a change, and like you have to be able to adapt, and I think that's again the credit to the players. Like they were able to adapt, go into different positions, and do what was asked of them. Like because there's all we say like there's different roles in teams, and you have to accept your role in it, and then go and execute it. And I think lads did that excellently for most of the second half. And look, we've work to do, which is a great place to be, and you've work to do going into an Ireland final.
And for you, how are you feeling? I think Robbie was saying you had a little bit of a knock. Is there a niggle or anything like that?
No, I should be fine. Yeah, I said between getting stood on a couple of times, but look, you expect that in the heat of battle as well. So no, look, it's great. 2 weeks to I said tonight the recovery starts, and we'll have a look at this game here and see how things go. And look, it's all good when you're looking forward to. I always say a knock is always easier when you win the game rather than losing the game.
Robbie, it was a nerve-wracking finish in the end, but you got over the line. You're through to the All-Ireland final, back where you want to be. How does it feel?
Yeah, I suppose relief is the main feeling there. Actually, it was a tight one coming towards the end there again for us, and we seem to find ourselves in those situations, which is something for us to work on. But look, as I said, coming out of here in February, it was hard to think we'd even get back here. So it's a nice feeling at the same time.
Yeah, there was 3 points in it. Last kick of the game, it was a free, it dropped short. David Moran got a fist to it, and it was just about cleared off the line. And I suppose there was probably a bit of deja vu from Kilcoo last year. Did that come to mind?
Yeah, certainly. That's what I was thinking. And even the Dublin final was similar. There was traits of that as well. And to be fair, giving out a bit the ref a little bit, but I think they could have had a couple of penalty opportunities coming towards the death as well. So we rode our luck a little bit, and thankfully we came out the right side.
And is that a concern for you? Like, is that something that you're really going to go in and want to speak to the players about? Why can't we close out games? You had a comfortable enough lead. You thought you were going to kick on quite easily, but teams get back into the game.
Yeah, definitely. As I've said it before, it's a pattern with us, and it's up to us as a management and a squad to try and work that out. But look, I say we have a couple of weeks to at least try and address it anyway.
Yeah, and at half time you were 2 points clear. You came out, had a really good start to the second half. So it was a lot of positives in there. Looked very comfortable going forward too.
Yeah, I think up top we looked decent, but we just weren't getting our usual press or squeeze on guys, and they were quite comfortable on the ball, which left us under pressure at the back. So yeah, overall, delighted, but plenty to work on.
And David Moran in midfield for Kerrins O'Reilly's, he was brilliant throughout the game, especially in that first half. He was clean catching a lot of ball from kick-outs, but in the second half you changed markers on him, and I think that probably helped things for you. Yeah,
we stuck as good as we have Rory O'Carroll onto him, and Rory tried to maul him and do as he do and try and break ball away from him. But Moran's phenomenal. Like, he's just, when you see him up close, obviously I wouldn't seen him like that before, but he's some beast of a player to catch a ball, a brilliant talent, and he's been some player for Kerry down through the years.
You were hot favourites coming into the game, but I suppose when you look at that Kerry team, the amount of Kerry players they have on it, and former players as well, they're no strangers to Croke Park. So I suppose you knew yourself what challenge they would possess.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, the lads never look at the odds. I suppose the management were always aware of where they're trying to pitch it, but it was, again, all-Ireland semi-final, you're going to have 2 good teams in it, and with the bit of pedigree and history they have through them, it wasn't a surprise that it was as close as it was in the end,
And we didn't see Paul Mannion out there today. He did warm up. He was taking a few shots there early on, but didn't come on. Was it the plan to bring him on? Was it something in the warm-up, or did you always have the plan he wasn't ready?
Yeah, we felt like he's close. There's no doubt about it. He's close, and he's been in with Dublin doing a little bit as well, and they're monitoring him as well. So he's getting there, but whether 2 weeks is enough to get him where he needs to be, we'll have to see. But to have him back here, considering he missed a big day last year, I think is testament to him. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Absolutely. And Shane Walsh as well, is all okay with him? He didn't have, I suppose, as big a game as he normally has. Still very influential. Did he have a niggle or anything like that?
I think picked up a little bit of a knock, but I don't think it's anything serious. Hopefully, anyway. But we'll get the medical team to look at him. But no, I think he should be okay. Yeah.
And my final question: how much of last year has played on your mind? I think I heard you there talking about a screensaver.
Yeah, Kilcoo are my screensaver. They've been since about a week after the All-Ireland. But yeah, I think we said it before. We went away on holiday in April, I think it was, and we certainly drew a line under the sand after a few mad days, and that helped us hugely in trying to stop and go again. And as I said, I didn't think we'd be here, but luckily we are, and we'll have a go in a couple of weeks.
And what is the picture of the screensaver?
It's Mickey and the 2 lads with the cup up at the top of the steps. So Yeah, I probably should take it off, but we'll see in a couple of weeks and see. Maybe I'll be changed that for Glenn. I might go and doing it, but look, we're back there, and that was a big test for us. Hope not. Yeah.
William, hard luck out there. Disappointing in the end, but it was a game that went right to the wire. Just a goal in it in the end, and it could have went either way when it went right down to it. And David Moran got a fist, and you probably thought it could have been going in.
Yeah, 100%. I suppose when I think Jack got the free from the wing, we just said, Dermot, David, everybody get into the square and see what happens. But it was just, it was a great flick on actually. And I think it was a great block on the line. But look, it just didn't win. But we're delighted with how we performed. There's one or two aspects, things could have went a bit better for us in the third quarter. But look, we're delighted with how we performed, and we're just unlucky that we didn't make it. I suppose the extra step really. Aisling,
Yeah, you had a really good start. It was about 7 minutes gone before Kilmacud actually registered there for a score, so you would have been very happy with that.
100% Aisling, to be very honest with you. I suppose our aim was to try and keep the game as tight for as long as possible, so that maybe if we get to half time, hopefully then we can probably push on the second half. I just thought that third quarter, especially when they got that goal, and I think it was kind of out of nothing, it gave them that small bit of buffer and probably allowed them to play their game a bit more. But I can't fault the lads. I thought there was an exceptional effort in that fourth quarter. I thought we dominated the last fourth quarter, and just if we'd been lucky, you never know, we could be still outside playing a small bit of extra time. But look, I just want to wish Kilmacud the very best of luck going forward. They're a fine side, but I can't be more proud of our group as well,
Yeah, and what a group of players you have. David Moran in particular there, especially throughout the whole game. He's so influential, but in that first half, some of the balls he clean catched, from the kickouts in midfield, he's doing what he does best, really.
Oh my God, I'd say all supporters were in awe of David Moran in Croke Park, on the biggest stage, some of the feeling was unbelievable. But David's a good guy, good person, along with Tommy and Barry, John Keane and Jack Savage and Ross Gallen. They're just a great group. So David is just a joy to work with. I'm absolutely delighted that I got the opportunity to work with the likes of David Moran, because he's a good person, and I'm just delighted he played well today. Just unfortunately we couldn't get him over the line to get him to an All-Ireland final.
I know, it's disappointing, but what a year that you've had. How do you reflect on it? Winning the Kerry Championship, I think it was first time in 12 years, first Munster title ever. So there's a lot of positives there. I know it's quite hard now maybe to think of all that, but it is a lot to celebrate.
100% Aisling. I think when people sit down in a few months' time and just reflect on what we've achieved, and in particular of all the challenges we'd overcome. We lost a Division 1 final heavy, to Stingle. We lost a county final to Austin Stacks. To come back and to show that resolve and resilience has been fantastic. To win a club championship, first time in 12 years, and bring some silverware back to the club. To win a first Munster championship. I think when people look back and reflect, they'll go, "Do you know what? That was a good year. That was a good year." And I think it's hard now to probably think about that. But I think, we would love to get to an Ireland final. It just wasn't to be. But I think we're looking back, I think it was a good year for Country Rallies.